We are here with Norman Reedus and Boyd Holbrook talking about the Bikeriders releasing on June 21st. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good, yeah.
Totally asleep. I'm good,
so my first question for you guys today is, I feel like we never give enough credit to ourselves, especially as creators and creatives in the industry. So I want to ask you, what are you most proud of when it comes to your role in this movie?
Wow, it's a big question. Just a representation of that time, you know. It was a pretty authentic time that has been lost a little bit. So there was a purity in like the machine back then that was just come onto the scene. So.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Danny Lyon's already. I already have some of his photos at my house. I don't know, I think it's cool how Jeff took a book of photography and made a movie out of it, a narrative. So yeah, that, and I got to talk him into wearing what I wore. I got to sneak that in there. I'm pretty proud of that.
Now, Norman, I know you love motorcycles. You've had your own shows talking about them. I was looking at the YouTube comments of the trailer on the way here on the train, and everyone was saying, of course, Norman is in this movie. So how did you use your knowledge of motorcycles to help out other cast members on set who may have known nothing about riding?
Oh, I didn't. I came in and they were already filming, because I was filming in France. So I came in and the movie had already started, and I kind of went back and forth. And I didn't really ride with anybody. I rode by myself. Yeah, I didn't really talk to anybody.
Kicked over motorcycles and...
Yeah, I came in and made a mess and then just went back to France.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Now, Boyd, I know you went on a 4,000-mile motorcycle trip in South America early on in your career. So how did that indirectly influence how you played Cal, and did it remind you of those moments when you were on set?
Well, you know, I almost did the show with Norman.
You turned me down.
We almost toured Appalachia. But yeah, I mean, I would do rides after I finished a gig, and just go somewhere and ride to the next town or whatever it may be. But you find all these people on the road, like where it be Patagonia or going to Wisconsin or Oregon. You just the people you meet it's really what it's about. So having the ability to portray these people in a film, like, it's special. It doesn't come around that often.
Well, it's funny you talked about this show, because my next question is, if you guys were in your own motorcycle club and could travel anywhere in the United States or the world, where would you guys go and why?
What would you call them? The Turtles?
The Turtles, or we tour Vietnam. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Idaho. Idaho's pretty nice.
Idaho's beautiful.
Idaho's beautiful. Appalachia, like West Chattanooga to Asheville, North Carolina.
I've done that ride I've done so many times.
The Dragon's Tail and all that
I've done it several times, yeah.
So there's a place down in, called Dealer's Gap in western North Carolina. And it's like 203 curves or something in 10 miles or 11 miles.
The Tree of Shame, which just has motorcycle parts hanging off of it, like a Christmas tree.
So a little bit of a fun question. If you were to have your own motorcycle club meet up while on this journey, what 3 foods would you bring that you have to cook yourself?
Are you talking about your character? Because I don't know.
No, yourself. It could be yourself or your character, whatever you'd like.
I don't know, ramen, maybe. Honey, maybe. I put honey on everything.
That lasts. That's a real road dog trick right there.
Bubble gum. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
So back to the movie. What surprised you the most about the true story of the Bikeriders?
They lived as long as they did, I guess. It was pretty fast times. Yeah, it was just like the origin of it. It was pretty fascinating. Of like, again, that it's all coming out of purity, and how actually gangs started. Because I think there was the American Motorcycle Association didn't allow people to, you know, you had to have your bike a certain way, and if you didn't do that, then you didn't apply to that affiliation. So then groups started forming and racing and
chopping stuff up,
and that's, I really wasn't aware of the actual how that happened. So that's pretty interesting, and I mean, there's just a whole slice of life down there.
Yeah, there's things about Funny Sonny in particular I found out after I filmed, and some of it right before I filmed, but none of it ends well. You know, I think he went to like either a pizza place or a Chinese food place and started bragging about stuff. And the girl he was trying to impress ended up telling her boyfriend, who was a HA member, and they went in and took everything and beat him up. Like, it just never ends well. But like in the movie, it starts out of a place of purity and a love for motorcycles and a brotherhood, I guess. And more people you invite, the more downhill you go, I guess, you know.
And was there anything that made this movie different than any project that you worked on before that you were like, wow?
Yeah, but it was Jeff Nichols, which was a big deal. The cast was amazing. The first time I really got to, I guess, disguise myself as much as possible. I didn't want to look like Daryl Dixon coming into the show, which I would have been. Yeah, a lot of stuff. It was nice just to see the time period being represented on camera with the sets and so forth. There's a lot of impressive things about it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say echo that. The whole reason why anybody is on set is because of Jeff Nichols. He's like Americana, the definition of that. You know, he's somebody that I've always wanted to work with, and he just has this world building. He's writing his own scripts. He really knows exactly what he wants to do, and to make a film like this for him too, I think was really unexpected. And
I was sitting next to him in Cannes, right? Didn't even know he was Jeff Nichols. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, hey, I got this movie I'm doing. Would you want to play a part in it? And I'm like, who are you? And he's like, Jeff Nichols. I'm like, wait, did you drag mud? And he goes, I'm like, oh, why didn't you tell me you were Jeff Nichols? You know, like, that's how big of an idiot I am. But yeah, Jeff Nichols, he's the reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
So every day on my social medias, I cover movie facts and movie details. So is there anything that happened behind the scenes that many people may not know that you'd like to share with my audience? And if you don't have anything, what was your favorite scene to film?
Any tea? I think there was sort of tea spilled. Tom Hardy was in the face of fire and did not move. Remember that? Got burned by the building fire.
The building,
that was the
bar.
Story of the night. It's like Tom didn't move.
Didn't move.
Didn't move.
Yeah, that
But there's
It was you know, it was nice watching Jodie work up close. She's such a powerhouse. Gossip on set. I don't know. We're really gonna tell your YouTube influencer podcast.
Did anyone fall off a motorcycle? Is what I'm saying.
Did I fall off?
Did anyone?
Jeff, did I fall off? You did not. I did not fall. I did not fall off.
Who fell off?
I'm not saying.
Let's throw them underneath the motorcycle.
Oh, I know somebody that fell.
I'm not talking about
I forgot their names. I just forgot their name.
But yeah, I mean, the real star is Jeff, dude. He's got all these amazing bikes in here, and like he's got. We had originals, right?
They were all real.
Yeah, originals from like 1970s, 60s. These bikes were worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, but like barely worked.
No, they worked.
Well, they worked great because you were working on them. But other than that, you know, real artifacts.
I'll tell a story. You want me to tell a story?
Yeah.
So my bike had a suicide shift that had a rubber ducky on it, right? There was a bronze rubber ducky. Jeff Milburn, who was working on the show, told me I cannot hold the rubber ducky to shift. So my knees are up here. I'm trying to thread the little gears with prescription glasses that aren't my prescription. And he's like, you can't hold the rubber ducky yet. So I have to do it with two little fingers underneath the rubber ducky. Later on, I do a podcast with the owner of that bike. And he goes, you totally could have grabbed the rubber ducky. So our motorcycle dude on this show cared more about the rubber ducky than my safety, or the fact that we were making a major motion picture. So there's a little tea for you, Jeff Milburn.
Was that a safety thing? You think?
I just think he didn't want to get yelled at.
Yeah, he didn't want you to go fast enough to switch gears.
He didn't want me to break the rubber duck off. That was it.
I got a question. How much were the bikes damaged after you returned them?
Every single bike had something because there was so much moving them around.
Every single one of
Every
them.
single bike had a scratch, a dent, or something.
Well, that's your fault because you were the one moving them
I was the
around.
one that.
So my final question is, if you had to rewatch a movie every day for the rest of your life and were forced to watch it, which movie would you watch and why?
Ooh, ever? Of anything? Ever? Does it have to do with motorcycles?
Nope. Anything.
I'm a big Midnight Cowboy fan. I like
I just
that
watched
film.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Dustin Hoffman.
It's my favorite movie.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the night my wife had a baby, somebody in the same hospital called her child Midnight Cowboy.
Were you bummed that you didn't think of it first?
I was yeah, I was.
Could have been Ratso Rizzo, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right, so, yeah, you can, there's still.
I had a cat named Ratso Rizzo.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you so much, Norman and Boyd.
Yeah, nice to meet you, man.
Thanks.